Time to review the papers this morning, and joining me in the studio are journalist Ife Onyegbule and public affairs analyst and chartered accountant Sheson Okwande. Thank you for coming this morning. If you look so beautiful this morning. All right, let's head straight to the papers now, and I start with the Vanguard. Insecurity, Buhari launches offensive, orders ruthless action. 15 persons killed, houses, cars, motorbikes burnt in Benue. Northern elders task Buhari on menace, reps give him ultimatum. Rejig security, Pandef tells Buhari, get to the roots, Ohaneze. We are for a secured Nigeria, Afenifere. Falana threatens public protests. Many Zamfara royal fathers involved in gold mining, IGP. And the Daily Sun now. IMF recommends total fuel subsidy removal for Nigeria, says Africa spent $5.2 trillion on that in 4 years. And we go to the blueprint. Buhari orders security chiefs deal ruthlessly with bandits, kidnappers. Abuja-Kaduna route cleared, safe for travels. IGP name names in Zamfara killings. Monarchs challenge minister. And on the front page of The Guardian, victory for PDP as Supreme Court dismisses APC's cause appeal. Notices incurable, defective, grossly incompetent, says acting CJN. Wike offers to reconcile with Amechi, others for Rivers' progress. And finally, on the front pages of the Daily Trust, name those colluding with bandits. Emir tells minister. Buhari orders rooting off kidnappers. Others, president must address Nigerians, reps say. All right, one story that would interest you is on the front pages of the Daily Sun. IMF recommends total fuel subsidy removal for Nigeria. If we remember what happened in 2012, where there were protests, and former President Goodluck Jonathan was trying to take this step, and protests started that was anti-Nigerian. Do you think now, seeing the amount we've spent, 5.2 trillion naira, that Nigeria might be considering, the present government might be considering this?
They just need to. We didn't have to have Madam Christine Lagarde to come to tell us that this is exactly the right thing to do. You'd agree with me that at that time people probably didn't have an idea what it was.
Yes.
When the president wanted to take that step. So everyone was on the street. I was actually at the forefront right there. You know, Lagosians, Nigerians gathered. Some didn't even know why they were there. They just kept on hammering on it. But as the woman has said, it's the right thing to do, and the funds will be channeled to, you know, infrastructure and things that will reach the masses, as it were. Whether you like it or not, the rich, the elites, it may not bite hard on them. It will bite hard on the people who can't even afford food to eat. So I think it's something to look at, and this government needs to truly take a critical look at it and take that step, no matter what it is.
Should the government toe this path? Because even at 145, some persons still believe, are we still paying subsidy at this rate?
Yeah, when this current administration came in, part of the work they promised to do is that the subsidy will definitely go out of it. Not until recently I discovered that we are still charging subsidy for some of those things. And like if you said, we should remove $5.2 trillion. It's huge.
It's a lot of money.
If this should go into infrastructure, definitely there are other arms that will benefit from. So it's if they can take, but my own aspect of it is less no amount of the subsidy we are paying currently on the 145. What is the actual landing cost?
Always been shrouded in some
sort
of
secrecy, and that's why we never have confidence in them. That's my own. Whether you want to, as we speak, do we really subsidize anything? We are not transparent in most of the things we're doing. Government should be able to explain to us, this is the landing cost. There has been agitation over time that we should work on our infrastructure of setting up our own refinery. How can you be producing raw materials? You're moving to another country to process.
Refine, yeah.
And you know there are other benefits from this processing, which on the long run might even be an advantage for you. So for me, I expect the government to be transparent. Let's even know the actual subsidy that you're subsidizing. What is the cost-benefit approach? If you need to set up a refinery, you have the raw material, process it here, and let's see what, do it side by side. Even if it's going to take 2-3 years, get our refinery functioning. Let's have the idea of producing those things ourselves. We have the cost of moving the raw materials, the cost of processing, and the cost of bringing it back is huge. So why not just fix 1 or 2 of this refinery, process it yourself? If it's going to go higher, it's going to be for a minimal time.
I think it's possible to fix some of the
There were
refineries.
also talks of modular refineries and all of it, and we also had Dangote's also refining, talking about building his refinery and all of that. So the modular refineries, people are still wondering, okay, when is this going to kickstart, or when is it going to happen?
That's the question everyone's asking. And I'm also joining my voice to that to ask, why is it that the refineries are not working in Nigeria? It still boils down to what he's talked about. Everything is shrouded in secrecy. You vote monies to
But have we shown the political will to actually make things happen when it comes to our refineries working as it should?
But maybe some people who want to jeopardize some of the things that should work here in Nigeria will not let that happen. It's like telling me, why can't we have 24-hour power supply? It's possible. But will the generator merchants ever let that work? I think the refineries can work if there's the will to get it done. I always point to the fact that when the president was coming to Lagos, what happened? All the trucks on the road disappeared.
They were kept somewhere else. No, because someone who was suffering, who was getting the pinch for that, was telling us that, you know, they moved them to somewhere else, to their area to inconvenience them. So there's a whole lot of things to be done when it comes to our refineries working and looking at fuel subsidy. But I must thank you, Ife and Sheson, for your thoughts on this this morning.